This broadcast is appropriate for all ages, right here on #WeAreMovieClub. It is Scary Movie Squad. I am Cameron. Welcome to Scary Movie Squad. This is our new little icon thing. I've done a little bit different with the background here. We watched Always Watching because I was excited about Slender Man, and I was like, oh, there is a Slender Man movie that still exists. Don't really recommend. It's upsetting sometimes when... Oh, should get the restream up. When you find a bad movie, because sometimes it's good. It's why we have Bad Movie Club. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Did you watch Bad Movie? You scared? Scared of the Slender Man? Killed that dog. He killed a dog. He'll kill you too. He'd be like, ah, hum, and eat your choco taco. Sorry, I like my cat. Oh man, what is going on with the chroma on here? I blame Slender Man. That's what it's always set to, so I don't know what to say about that, other than this was a movie. It was a found footage movie, which was the biggest problem. Honestly, if I realized that, I probably wouldn't have done it. So here and now, I am going to make a promise to try to screen these movies a little better and try to set this up a lot earlier. I wanted to go literally from one to the other. Why? People emailing me weird shit. So I wanted to I wanted to watch a Slender Man movie. I just didn't realize that, like, people have done it so badly. I agree, streaming. Opera is actually a good operating system. Chrome didn't used to do this stuff, but yeah, Google is capturing so much data from you that it does slow stuff down a little bit. But it's still my fave. I still like how it works, and I have all my presets there, so I can actually get through stuff a lot faster by using it. Trying to relearn how to do it in Opera is not something I want to invest in, and then I got to add another another internet browser to my computer. Hope it works, because I had some problem last time I tried to do Opera, because when I was doing some web development stuff, I did do that. But and I've added I don't know how this is gonna go over, but I added this to my rabbit room. So we'll see how that works out. I don't know if this will be a good idea or not. But we watched Always Watching. It is a Slender Man movie, but it's not so much about Slender Man. It's more about the people investigating him and kind of like the lore and everything involving it. So, blah. There's not really a whole lot to say on this other than I don't recommend it. It is about Slender Man a little bit. There isn't a lot. They almost treat him like a ghost, though. I was half expecting them to figure out like the iron trick. Like if you watch like Supernatural or some other stories, like there's a trope for scary movies with ghosts is that they can't stand iron or salt, and so that is a thing that people tend to use, and I can take it or leave it. It's not a big deal. But using it on Slender Man means that it defines him as a ghost, if it's effective. Now, I was really surprised that Slender Man even left when the guy pulled the gun on him. It was really kind of a bother, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know. So, like, I don't even know what I'm going to say about this in bad summaries. There's so much empty space. Like, I got mad. Like, I legit got like a little angry at the DP, the director of photography, because there's literally a scene where, like, it looks like this. Like, it's just the camera and then the guy's arm in front of it, and it was atrocious. And they had some cool shots in there. Like, they had a interesting one where it's like they're filming the monitor, and then on the video on the monitor stuff is happening, like with Slender Man, and there's some stuff where it's like they can't see him but the camera can see him so that we can see him, and that's interesting. And then there was a really cool scene towards the end where, like, Slender Man in this can apparently possess people. I don't know if that's a thing in traditional Slender lore, but what was I gonna say? He ends up riding people. So like one of the guys dies, and he ends up riding the body, and like he kind of like Spartas the girl into the room. And so she has this really cool moment where obviously she's not on a harness, or they covered it really well, where she slides across the room. So either she took a good stunt on her own, or they had a really good stunt woman ready for her, because it happens pretty quick. So I wasn't paying that much attention, but like as soon as she starts sliding, I'm like, oh, that's awesome, because it's one thing to come in and take a bump. Um, but it's another entirely to take a bump and do the slide. That adds the extra like emphasis to it. And I agree with you, streaming. Does not sound like OG Slenderman at all. Like we were talking in the Rabbit Room about the movie as it's going on, and like guy mentioned Markiplier, the original media that came of the creepypasta of Slenderman was it was a mod for a video game. I don't even remember what mod it was. I think it used Source, if I'm right. So it could have been a Half-Life mod. That would make sense. Where you go around, you collect pages, and I don't even remember why, but you're collecting evidence of Slender Man. You know, the goal is to get in there, and get out before he gets you. And it was always the computer was Slender Man, and all the players. Right, it was single player. And then I think the official release, when they made it a full-fledged game, made it asynchronous play. One person could be Slender Man, and then everyone else had to be just constituents who were running around trying to get the papers and get out of there. And it was not... If I remember right, the original mod was not randomly or procedurally generated, but the other one was. So you had certain assets that were... No, it was a game made by modifying Source Engine. It was technically a mod. The original game was technically a mod. But I get your point, streaming. It is it is a little bit different. Oh, streaming. I love that you want to talk to me so much. Whatever. It's fine. So this, again, a lot of found footage. It was cut together, pretty weird. They went to some CCTV on occasion. But, like, I don't know, some of the camera angles were just weird and arbitrary. It's like, I don't see how they're supposed to have the camera here, but we're going to film it anyways and make it look like it was a camera just sitting on a desk or in the car or whatever. And fair warning, the one time that they turn the camera off, like they actually get sensible about things and try to turn the camera off, that dog dies. I'll spoil that right now because that was upsetting to some people. For reals, dog death is not cool. I think there's a scene where a child's murdered. It's rough in certain parts, and it could have been such a great movie. So I'm really hoping that the Slender Man movie that comes out in like May or so is the movie that this could have been, because this had a lot of potential to it. It reminds, but they didn't know how to do a found footage film. I'm gonna talk technical about this a little bit. They ripped everything they could from other found footage movies. Like the beginning literally looks like it's like a prologue, or sorry, epilogue to Blair Witch. It's like other people trying to imitate it or something, and it has nothing to do with the rest of the storyline as far as I can tell. It just gives you too much information. Where at the beginning, that first scene where the people are running and he possesses the one guy to go after the other girl, you could have left that out, and those moments would have been a lot more powerful later on, because showing that to us at the beginning is like telling you, hey, he can do this. This is a thing that exists. So this is something the characters have to watch out for. And if we're being completely honest, not so great. Man. So, and again, like they were looking. You could tell what they were doing. They were looking at Blair Witch. They were looking at Cloverfield. They were looking at Chronicle. You can see little bits of elements and things that are in the film, but they just didn't quite get there. Um, so streaming's trying to help me out here. He's trying to fill me on the lore because I'm a little spotty. The stuff that I like about it is super creepy, and I've seen some good videos of like small stuff. Like I like when he goes all tentacles, and like I saw him throw a dog and like hold up and choke a guy with his tentacle arms. I thought that was cool. But streaming saying that he takes lives most of the time, not children or animals, just their souls, and they turn transparent like a ghost. Like I'm assuming they don't become a ghost; they become ashen. Like their souls have been removed, and they are no longer a functioning person. I'm assuming that's what you mean. Um, so I don't know what to say about that. Um, like the stuff that I remember from him is like he'll stay somewhere secluded. Like he's not only visible through a fucking camera. That was something else I didn't like in this movie, because it takes some of the terror away. That like, oh, I don't know where he's at. I just don't know where he's at. So they're never terrified until after the action's already started, and then they just vamoose and it's done with. If they can see him and like he's following them a little bit, it's a continued terror. Or if he's teleporting at least. What I remember is that he'll sit in the woods or whatever, and like he'll psychically affect people. He'll cause what I've heard is called slender madness. So he'll cause paranoia in children, mostly adults. And the idea is that like if able, he'll take children, not animals. I've never heard anything with him wanting animals. Um, Sorry, my nose. But there was a big thing at one point about people talking about like, well, what's he do with the children? Like, where do they go? And I think somebody made or wrote a story about that concept. Like, where do the children go? Like, is it like a bartering thing? Like, Slender Man is the envoy that selects children for slavery or something like that, or in the demon dimension, or like takes them back for food, things like that. Um, Man, I wish I could remember that stuff, but it was like a, a little fake documentary on like what could be from Slender, and there's so much good potential there. I like Slender. If nothing else, it's a example of a true innovative idea. These There's so many people out there that just do what they've seen their whole life, and they're like, I want to make one of those, and then they literally make that instead of making their own story made manifest. So like I really respect things like Slenderman, Hardcore Henry, like things that are truly innovative. Um, no, yeah, yeah, and you're absolutely right. Because like there's one guy that did create Slenderman, but it's gotten away from him. He no longer has control of that property. I think the people who made the upcoming movie had to pay somebody off for the rights, but no. Let's be honest. The Slenderman that could exist has nothing to do with the uh, the Slender Man that we're gonna see, the Slender Man that we've experienced, the Slender Man that we've grown to love. Um, but I don't want to see like the Wolverine of Slenderman either. I don't want to see Slenderman just go uh, Jason Voorhees on us. I guess Freddy would be a better example, but um, I want to see him like shot at. I want to see him shrug off bullets or phase through bullets or teleport away like at the last second. I want to see him like walk through shadows. So many good things there. I wish I was talking about this movie instead. That's the problem with one of the only downsides of watching in Rabbit is that you already have people to talk to, and now I can't remember the shit that we were talking about because we were making fun of the movie a lot. Like I really felt bad that this fucking shit movie is what I picked. So I think next week is going to end up being The Vault, just because I've seen the movie, and then that'll give me enough time to make some candidates for movies, because I've got to be able to verify that I can watch it, because I almost had to spend money on this and I would have been pissed, but Hulu had it, so that's good. And I'm on Netflix, I'm on Amazon Prime, I'm on Hulu. That's plenty of things, and I've got my own set of movie stuff. And I've realized that maybe for rabbit purposes at least, I can run some of those. I just have to get them converted to the right format, and then I can embed them on a web page, and then watch it for rabbit. Maybe I should have talked about that, but um, yeah. So like, I've got options, and I want to be able to watch and share some of those things and have better options for movies, because like I'm kind of going through things a little desperate. Like I'm looking for new stuff I haven't seen just to cover it. Like I'm really thinking about, like I want to do a theater mode for Bad Movie Club, but the one of the big problems with that is that so many things overlap with Scary Movie Club. So it just is like, well, is it scarier or is it badder? Um, so it's actually really relevant to this product to talk about it, but I've got to figure that out on my own off camera. But more than likely, we'll go through some theater mode stuff that'll help make it entertaining. Um, but I've run across a couple movies here and there that I'm like, oh, this would be good for this product, that would be good for that product, and thanks to streaming, um, or streaming tub. Follow me on Twitch if you want. The I've got the Discord up. I'm gonna make some channels there, and I'm gonna get organized for that part of it, because I think it's really come to the last bit. Like, I've got these sigils down. I made this little ghost badge for Scary Movie Squad. This thing here, I've overlaid it on top of the We Are Movie Club sigil. I figured out how to do this background somewhat efficiently, so I can swap it out every week, and it'll be all right. Um, there's a lot of stuff that's gonna. It's just for the future. I don't mind putting extra work in now to make it better later, and that's what we're doing a lot here. So probably by end of February, a lot of things will be smooth. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably set up about four weeks in advance. And if I can get events up like that as well on Rabbit, I'm going to do that. I have a feeling that I'm going to be streaming enough on Rabbit that they're going to try to make me weird partners or whatever. I got to talk to Birdie about that, see if she can give me any advice. Sorry, I'm still working out like how it works all together, because apparently, like I've got a profile as well, and stuff's there. Interesting. People are someone's inviting me over to stuff. I don't know. Like, we'll just see. So we'll see how Rabbit gets folded into everything else. Like right now, I've got to use a second computer to stream there, so it'll be interesting. Streaming top, make a request, buddy. Once I get the Discord more organized, that'll be easier. But yeah, do it. Let me know. If you don't have access to things and you catch this, hit us up at We Are Movie Club on the Twitters. Always good to communicate with us that way, or hit us up on the streams. There's so many ways to talk to people nowadays. You just gotta find a way. Come over and watch stuff on Rabbit with me. So many good things. Waiting for your suggestions soon. 20 minutes. Fuck. Normally I can do about a half hour on my own. This movie gave me so little to work with. A box of the movie. To see what I'm talking about. So StreamTub is requesting, to make it more interesting, to make it more clear, a box of the movie to see what you're talking about. Are you talking about like a video, or are you talking about like a picture? Because that's what this is. I don't have the review posted yet either. So This one's particularly hard because I scheduled it back to back with the movie. Um, Partly to just get me to bed earlier, but so I've got to work out how to do that too. I've got to look at WeAreMovieClub.tumblr.com and see which reviews are posted. Stream, I'm sorry, buddy. I like you and all, but I don't know what you're talking about. Like over my left shoulder here, I've got a movie poster showing what topic I'm trying to talk about. Because fuck this thing, it's so hard to talk about. It's just a lot of empty space, a lot of trash. Dog does some shitty jump scares. And I guarantee you I'm going to spawn a dog in the Minecraft world to do a bad summary on this one. And I'm still, I think that might be one where I just stare at the camera and go, there was a puppy. And a man came for his puppy. You know what? Well, that might be a good angle to do. I'll just talk like I'm talking about John Wick. Where John Wick is Slender Man. That may be actually a more interesting approach to that. But I gotta look at doing like a green screen studio type thing, because we were talking in the chat about setting up like a Minecraft platform or whatever with like a bookcase wall, and then like doing like 4 squares as a green wool or something, so I could actually chroma in a picture or overlay a picture. No, chroma in, that's what I mean. Oh, you actually want me to go through pieces of the movie? Okay, so you're not wrong, and that probably is where I would do that. I thought about this. I honestly did. I don't have like anyone else working with me on this. I don't even have other people to play off of to talk. So this is one of these production moments where like I've got to make calls. I've got enough. I feel overwhelmed enough at this time that I feel like trying to manage videos and stuff is not what I want to do. If you ever watch Funhouse, they do stuff like that, and it works. You're absolutely right. But part of what I'd want to do there is like pull clips and be like, look at this shit, look at this, look at that. And I definitely, with this product, I definitely don't have time to do that. Maybe that's a fault of mine. I should reschedule. Oh God, working on my own. You're probably right. I probably need to do something, and I will consider that stuff. I'm trying to think, man. Yeah, but literally, like, okay, so you're not wrong. I can Google it, get the timestamps. I can go to Hulu. I can get the stamps. Oh, you wanted me just Google the timestamps? I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean, there's ways to do it, and I want to change this, and I just changed it, so I want to do this for at least a couple episodes. If we can get other people on this, and I redo everything, anyway, I don't know. So much pipe dreaming. But Strain, we'll talk offline, buddy. I think maybe we can jump on Discord and actually like talk. Maybe that'll make it clear. I'm not saying you don't have a good idea. I'm just saying like I don't know how feasible it is for me to do it. Because there's a lot of things I could do, would do, and honestly, if I don't know, if I had other people to vamp for me, I would feel more comfortable doing a lot more switching. Because and you can actually on OBS you can set up hotkeys and stuff, so I could actually like just cut to the film for a couple minutes or for 30 seconds or something, show a part, and then cut back to this. And I could do that easily enough here, but it's awkward enough just doing the intros and outros right now. It's good to have partners. Fuck, how long have we been going? 25 minutes for this piece of shit. It's a movie, honestly, if I'd watched it before, I probably wouldn't even put on Bad Movie Club. But it was decent enough to watch it with people. It's just trying to talk about it is fucking painful. What are my show notes? Is there anything else interesting in any of this? No, and like the biggest thing was like anytime anything was happening, like they ran away. Like that's how they dealt with anything. It's like, oh shit, and they jump in the car and they drive. Like there was a whole storyline with a love triangle. Like of course both the dudes wanted to bang the girl. The girl was banging the one guy. But so the guy who wasn't banging her was trying to film her all the time because he's a creepy camera bastard, and that's what we do apparently. Not that I've done that, but yeah. There's honestly, I literally have bullshit in here for notes from time to time. That's how little there was in this movie. It was just like bad shots, weird dialogue, a fucked up love triangle, and then a poor attempt at doing Slender Man, I think. The one thing, like, and I was disappointed with some of it, like, because I was like, oh, they could have done this, oh, they could have done that, and that's probably what I should be talking about more. And I wish I'd noted that, but I was having too much fun chatting with people. The thing, like, Mrs. Whitlock, I think is the character, she has scars from where she burns down her house. Like, there's a really fucked up scene. Like, I mentioned a child getting murdered, right? So, like, the whole thing is that they find the house that's been abandoned, and the reason it's been abandoned or whatever is that the family that lived there, like, fucking went nuts. I don't know how they burned down the house, though, is the thing. So, like, dad's, like, getting possessed, or being affected, Slender Madness or whatever. He smothers the daughter, beats up the wife, and he's standing at the top of the stairs like an asshole, and then she gets up and, like, slams him down the steps. So happy about that. And then she walks over him, his splayed body on the stairs, gets, like, this giant can of gasoline. Like, one, like, you wouldn't normally, like, keep around, let alone haul upstairs. And then she just starts dousing everything, lights it up, grabs a rabbit out of her daughter's room, and sits in the living room waiting to die. And so they did, like, such good intricate scarring on her face. Somebody spent a lot of time. That was probably hours in makeup to get that right. And, like they have her jumping around, like her hair's all fluttering in front of it. Like, show that off. Somebody worked hard on it. I just don't think they had appreciation for what looks good in a movie. Because of all the stuff they borrowed from, like, Chronicle and Cloverfield and Blair Witch, they didn't grab any of the stuff that was like, oh, here's a cool shot. I think somebody noted stuff to death, and we got a couple of them in there, but a lot of it was just nothing. Like, ugh. At least they didn't film the dog getting killed. Though it looked like he just died in his sleep, so, from what we saw. But that was a cool moment, though. So I will point that out. When the dog dies in the car, like, that's where they make him turn off the camera, and then the mark shows up inside the car, which I have a problem with the mark in general, because the mark just is dumb. Like, the Slender Man should be this immortal thing, not someone who deals in symbology. Alright, I've had it. I can't talk about this piece of shit anymore. So, to wrap things up, always watching, never watch it. Honestly, if you're looking for a bad movie or a bad movie night or something, probably find something else better. I'll give this a miss. I'll probably do a review that says as much on WeAreMovieClub.tumblr.com. Along with, I'll do a bad summary on this on YouTube.com/WeAreMovieClub. But I'm gonna go get on top of that and get that over with, I think. Because I've got reviews to write. And sleep to be had. So until you see me next time, this has been Scary Movie Squad on #WeAreMovieClub. If you want to see anything else we're up to, go to click the annotations and they'll take you to our other channels.